4 tips to manage your digital agency. If you are a brand or any business really and have a relationship with a digital agency, whether that's SEO, PPC, social media, design, anything really, let's face it, you as a brand don't want to change agency. It's time consuming, it's expensive. And agencies don't want to lose clients because it's so much more profitable and convenient to keep the same client. It gets easier and easier to work with them. And these 4 tips really help brands get the most out of the agencies, get what they need, and agencies to really deliver and add value without adding extra work. So let's dive right into it. The number 1 is to have absolutely crystal. The first one is to have absolutely crystal clear shared objectives and goals. What does success look like? So it's very important to have a shared session during which we establish what the KPIs and what the goals are. Within the goals, there's not just what success looks like and the KPIs, there's also activity. Sometimes agencies are working towards something that may not necessarily bring results that are quantifiable in terms of performance, but they may bring work that is necessary to enable a success in the future. That's the roadmap. What is the stuff that needs to happen? It's very important to share the roadmap between the 2 parties and agree exactly what projects, what elements are gonna get done when. That way you can keep the agency accountable to what they said, and at the same time they can prioritize. Tip number 2 is the team. Who is your team? What is the team structure? Have the agency explain to you exactly, do they have a client services manager, an account director or equivalent? Who is your main point of contact? Who is going to do the actual work day to day? And when you know what the team structure looks like, I would strongly recommend that you investigate and that you get more information on the people that you'll be working with. How long have they been doing that? What kind of experience do they have in similar sectors? It's not necessarily about getting people that are super experienced and they're super senior. It's just really about understanding who is working on your account and what type of support that they may need from people within the agency and also from the brand. What kind of support, what kind of information about the brand. Oftentimes when the account manager then leaves, if you have the entire picture of the team structure, if you know exactly how many people and what they do, you may have a second point of contact, so you don't feel like you have to start from the offset. Another aspect of understanding the team is to make sure that everything that gets done is documented in a shared document, either using Google Drive or any other type of collaboration tools. Because if the account manager moves on and then they leave and they go do something else, then what you don't want is somebody totally new coming in and you have to re-explain the whole thing. To a certain degree that's inevitable, but what you don't want is a new person come in and them having zero history and background on what's been done. Number 3 is meetings and calls. This is something that caught me by surprise a while ago when I was talking to an important brand spending significant amounts of money online, and I was told that the agency at the time only gave them 20-minute calls every 2 weeks. And at the end of the call, or towards the 20 minutes, the account manager would say, "I'm really sorry, the time is up, I have to go." For me, that's mind-boggling. That's crazy. It doesn't work like that. The way it works is that you assign an hour at least to a call, and most of the times you only need a half an hour. But it's important to have that bandwidth so that if you have to discuss something that happened, whether that's a big change within the industry, seasonality, a new line of products that came in, then the agency has the time to listen, make notes, and act on this. So make sure that you have weekly calls, because bi-weekly just simply are not good enough. Weekly calls, and they need to have the time. You may only need half an hour, 20 minutes, but it's important that if you need more, they have more. The second thing you want to be looking at is either longer calls, maybe video calls or meetings on a monthly basis, looking at the month-to-month performance. Now, during the weekly calls, you look at activity and you look at the performance week on week, but you can't really get too hung up on what's happening weekly because the weather may play a factor. There could be many things that really skew performance. Month on month gives you a better picture. So it's important to spend a little longer month on month to understand what that looks like. And again, I wouldn't order you a new car if month to month performance looks great. And on the other extreme, I wouldn't despair if month to month doesn't look super amazing. But at the same time, if a couple of months in a row perhaps are challenging, then maybe you need to take action. And then the final is the quarterly meeting, what we call the quarterly business review, the QBR. Now, if you've done your weekly calls and your monthly calls, during the quarterly meetings, there shouldn't really be any reasons to stop on performance too long. You look at performance quarter on quarter and year on year, but really out of a 2-hour meeting, performance analysis should only be like 20 minutes, half an hour, because you've discussed that weekly, so you should really be on the ball and stop the agency from coming in during quarterly business reviews with these shiny slides full of amazing results that they've achieved, because that adds absolutely zero value. You have looked at the performance week on week and month on month. The quarterly business review should be 2 hours minimum, sometimes 3 or 4 hours, and it should really all be about the next 3 months. It should really be about what do we do now, what can we do that nobody else is doing, what can we do to increase performance, what can we do to raise the bar. Make sure that the agency comes in with a plan, with a strategy, what are we going to do during the next 3 months, which will allow us to achieve our yearly goal. Tip number 4 is reports. Get your agency to send you reports that are custom made, that are tailored to you. The reason is very simple. Your business needs to report on things that are important to you right now. And again, this may change in 3 months' time. What you need now, it's not what you need in 3 months. And what you need in 3 months is probably nothing like what you'll need in a year. The reports shouldn't be the standard template reports that are sent to everybody, because they add no value. A report should give you at a glance everything that you need to know in order to understand whether the trajectory is correct. That's it. The report should tell you the story of what happened, not just the numbers. It should tell you we tried this and it didn't work, and we tried it because we saw 1, 2, 3 happening over there, so we done A, B, and C, and we thought we were going to see X, Y, and Z, but we didn't. So it's super important that it tells the story of what's been done in relation to the goal. And these were the 4 tips: shared goals, team structure, meetings, and reports. Now, there are clearly many other aspects you have to look at to manage your agency well. A couple of additional elements which I think is worth looking at now very quickly are: 1, be very wary when the agency comes in and has clearly put way too much effort into showing you the stuff that's gone right. Now, it's important to celebrate and to brag about the stuff that we did and worked, but a good agency will come in and will show you the ugly stuff first. The stuff that we tried, we really thought this was going to work, but it didn't. Experimenting, testing is super important, and it shows the confidence that the agency has in their own ability. When they spend too much time decorating slides to make their work look good, oftentimes it means that they're trying to take your attention away from something else. If your objective, for example, is growth, and they keep going on about ROI, and they hit ROI, and they hit CPA and cost of sale, then maybe there is a disconnect. Maybe they're trying to take away the attention from the fact that they're missing revenue targets, right? So it's important to actually face that challenge and say, well, we're missing revenue targets because of A, B, and C. Maybe conversion rate is an idea, or whatever it may be. It really shows confidence, and it probably builds trust in you if they come in with the stuff that they're struggling with. The second tip is contracts. When an agency comes in and forces a 12-month contract on you, again, that for me, that's a red flag. Certainly for PPC, SEO, and social media management, there's no real reason to have 12-month contracts. 90 days rolling are perfect because it gives the agency the time to find another client and reallocate the resources if you wanted to leave, but also it gives you as a brand the flexibility that if you need to move on, then you can. Because ultimately, even if you have a 12-month agreement with the agency, but you're not happy, you're not going to stay in that relationship. And as an agency director, I can tell you that if you were my client and you were with us for 12 months because you had a contract, but after 3 months you were not happy, we wouldn't want you to be with us because you become a headache for us, right? So we need to keep you happy. And the agencies that you work with have the job of keep proving themselves. If they are transparent and if they are collaborative, really collaborative, because the objective of an agency should be to become an extension of your marketing team. If they work that way, even if they make mistakes, you're not going to fire them, because you don't fire everybody in your organization that makes mistakes. You will fire an agency when you lose trust in the agency, when you no longer believe that the agency is able to deliver what you need. And if transparency is at the core of the relationship from the start, this will never happen. If they're transparent even in the pitching process, chances are that if you trust them, then they are trustworthy. So these were my 4 tips plus the 2 bonus elements. Recapping: share goals, team structure, meetings, reports, and the 2 extra ones are contracts no longer than 3 months, and building a relationship based on trust, not on flashy slides. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any additional tips, any comment, any experience, share it below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Every week we'll deliver very useful content that will allow you as a brand or as an agency to do a better job and to get the most out of this crazy world we live in. Take care, guys, and have a fantastic day.